Hey, this is going to be an ECW review for the 9th of June. I'm less angry today. I'm far less angry than I was after Raw and the return of He Who Must Not Be Named. And that's partly because I just watched this episode of ECW and, you know, it did exactly what every other episode of ECW does. It was pretty good. ECW is kind of a safe pair of hands. It's never going to have the glamour of a Raw or a SmackDown, but it's never going to go disastrously wrong like those shows have a tendency to do and like Raw is doing right now. Yeah, I think it's kind of ironic that the original ECW set itself up as this extreme wrestling promotion, but WWE's version of ECW is the most moderate, inoffensive, middle-of-the-road, safe wrestling show you're ever likely to see. However, there is good wrestling on ECW, so there's no need to criticise it. Anyway, we start off with Tiffany, our general manager. She hasn't been referred to as interim general manager in a while, so I presume she got the gig. She makes a rather bold claim by saying that history was made at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. She clearly has a more all-encompassing view of history than I do, but fair enough. She introduces Tommy Dreamer, and what follows is a rather untidy three-way promo between Christian, Tommy Dreamer and Jack Swagger. So we start off with Dreamer. Basically, he not only won the ECW title, he also won himself a new contract. He delivers a sentimental promo. He seems like a sentimental guy, so I suppose that made this better. Where he talks about how great it is to be ECW champion again. He thanks the fans. He says there were points when he didn't think he could do this. There were points when he didn't believe in himself, at which point some guy shouts out, "We believed in you, Tommy." For the record, Tommy, I didn't believe in you. I didn't believe in you. Okay? But yeah, he thanks the fans for their help, signs the contract. Christian comes out, throws him a box of tissues, calls him a crybaby, at which point the fans boo Christian. Really? You like Tommy Dreamer, but not Christian? Where do they get these fucking idiot audiences? Anyway, Christian says he's not annoyed at Tommy Dreamer, he's annoyed at Jack Swagger for getting involved in their business, and meaning that he could lose his ECW title, and indeed did lose his ECW title without getting pinned. He says he's going to have a rematch with Dreamer one day and he will regain the title, but he's glad Dreamer's still around and shakes his hand. This brings out Swagger, who says, "How can you shake his hand?" Basically, all Swagger's promo proved is that he is incapable of walking and talking because he repeatedly botched his lines. But he just started talking about how Dreamer shouldn't have even been in the match because his contract had expired. No, he shouldn't have been in the match because he's a massive jobber. That's why he shouldn't have been in it. But anyway, Swagger rather hilariously offers Christian the services of his lawyer in a joint lawsuit that they would take out against Tommy Dreamer, which would have the ECW title removed from Dreamer's grasp. Christian teases at turning heel and agreeing, but eventually Christian and Tommy Dreamer beat up Swagger and throw him out the ring. Christian and Dreamer celebrate together until Dreamer goes up to the second turnbuckle, at which point Christian powerbombs Dreamer through the table that's set up for the contract signing. I was happy about this because I thought, Christian's turning heel? Christian's a great heel. This will help him get over. But according to the next segment, between Tiffany and Christian, he isn't really turning heel. He just says he did it, he attacked Dreamer as a receipt for Dreamer DDTing him a few weeks ago, and basically sounded like a face. I think he still will turn heel. I think he's going through a tweening period right now, but who knows. But fair enough. There was also a little bit where it was implied that Hurricane Helms was rescuing people backstage, which I found pretty cool. First match of the night, we have Evan Bourne, the exciting young up-and-comer, future main eventer perhaps, versus Tony Atlas, retired 25 years ago. Why is Evan Bourne being put up against these people? I mean, he should clearly be in a feud with Tyson Kidd. That would be so good. That would elevate both their careers. That would be pay-per-view quality. But, you know, he had Mark Henry, and they managed to find someone more limited than Mark Henry. Tony Atlas, he's really old. The storyline going into this match is that Tony Atlas is going to show Mark Henry how it's done by defeating Evan Bourne. I really hope you don't, Tony. Tony Atlas, surprisingly good in this match, to be honest. I mean, he's not good or anything, but he was surprisingly good for what I was expecting. He did a couple of moves. They were both variations on a scoop slam, but, you know, fair enough. I'd say he's better than Kevin Nash is right now. Yeah, definitely, actually. But yeah, he did some moves. Evan Bourne did some good stuff. He wasn't as good as usual, but Evan Bourne at his worst is pretty much everyone else at their best. He hit a beautiful standing moonsault, love that move. I also love the jumping high knee lift to the face. I think that's a great move. Yeah, and then he hit the shooting star press for the win. After the match, Mark Henry comes in, delivers the world's strongest slam. Apparently, this feud is continuing. Oh no. Best thing about this match was Matt Striker claiming that Mark Henry is a lot thinner since he has been under the guidance of Tony Atlas. No, he's not. He's still a large, gelatinous blob. Next, one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. Vladimir Kozlov is a face, and not only that, he's a fucking weird face. I know his face because he's smiling and he's greeting the audience, like this. But his smile looks like a ventriloquist's dummy after a stroke. He just looks so fucking odd. But anyway, he's a face now. I find it hilarious. I think he might get over it as a face just by being so ludicrous. But yeah, typical Kozlov squash. It's a handicap squash. You know, he's fairly average as usual. I think he was slightly better than he normally is. A few untidy throws at the start, but he hits a nice overhead belly-to-belly throw. Although I've never seen him do that move on a man who's more than 200 pounds, so I'll be interested to see if he can. But yeah, fair enough. Hits the chokeslam spinebuster. Load of crap. Looking forward to see more of his ventriloquist dummy stroke victim face. Next, Christian Swagger have a little chat, not worth mentioning. Swagger just says that he'll help Christian tonight, he won't betray him or anything. They announced the matches for Raw, the Raw free-for-all. Just to say this, WWE title match, you know I hate Triple H, I won't mention that, but the Big Show, what the fuck is he doing there? MVP said he wanted a shot, why isn't he in that match? I'm annoyed. Main event, and a rather good one and a rather long one as usual. Hart Dynasty versus Christian and Swagger. Hart Dynasty come out. Natalya cuts a rather nice promo in which she says tonight the Hart Dynasty will face two former ECW champions, and tonight they will show the difference between former and future ECW champions. I like the implication that Jack Swagger is washed up already. Good promo by Natalya. I really like Natalya. I think she's really weird in a good way. Her relationship with Tyson Kidd, they're really going out. It's weird. It's really creepy, to be honest. You know, it's like she's his mother. I could see her playing like an evil stepmother in a film who manipulates the stepson by having sex with him. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I think. She's got a really creepy voice as well. I like her as a manager. Anyway, they tell a good story throughout this match. Christian and Swagger can't get along. Swagger does his 2 press-ups on the way to the ring again. Hilarious. Anyway, they can't get along. Swagger wants to start off the match, so Christian lets him, and then Christian just tags himself in straight away as soon as the match starts. This is very good. Both members of the Hart Dynasty look good. I wasn't a big D.H. Smith fan, but he's really growing on me. I think he's quite a talented technical wrestler, and he did a good high vertical suplex on Christian. Basically the storyline here is that Swagger is just thwarting Christian at every turn. He pushes Christian at one point and he pushes him off the apron at another point. When he pushes him into a Tyson Kidd spin kick. Tyson Kidd does some great stuff. He blocks the Fulcrum City Blues and then hits a nice kick to the back of Christian's head. It's all very good. So yeah, Christian gets dominated for some time as a result of Swagger not wishing to help him. Christian gets over the corner and looks like he's going to tag in Swagger for the hot tag, but instead just slaps Swagger off the apron and then acts like he himself got the hot tag by cleaning up the Hart Foundation. Lots of fast offense here, lots of near falls, etc, etc. Eventually Jack Swagger hangs up Christian on the apron and the Hart Dynasty hit the Heart Attack for the win. After the match, they all beat down on Christian for a while. I wish the Hart Dynasty had turned on Swagger here and just been like, we don't need any help, but they didn't. I'm going to run out of time. Anyway, Tommy Dreamer comes out. Please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you wish. Okay.